There.
Just look right.
It's good. Yep.
Do you bring that?
They set it up.
Oh, they do?
We set it up for the team.
All right, everyone, we'll get started with Magic head coach Steve Clifford. If you please raise your hands in the Zoom, we will get started. First question goes to Josh Robbins from The Athletic.
Steve, as effective as your team offensive rebounded in the opener, I'm wondering if you could describe to what degree your rules for offensive rebounding have changed over since the start of last season, if you could condense any change.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we're just being much more aggressive. We're, trying to find a way or find a comfort level with our team where we can both, score some second chance points, where I think last year we were maybe like 19th or 18th, I think, and still get back on defense. And teams do it. I think last year there were 5 teams that were top 10 in both second chance points and, fast break points allowed. So it's one of the ways, I mean, you're always looking for little ways that you can get better. And we feel that might be, one of the ways that can happen for us.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, you talked a little bit yesterday or 2 days ago about how challenging this season will be in terms of learning. A lot of players will have to learn through ballroom, instruction rather than, on a practice court. In an already challenging season for rookies and young players, how much, even more of a challenge does that make it?
Oh, I mean, much more. And one thing I feel good about with that is our veteran guys, I think, have been good at that. Learning through, when we're doing video sessions or walkthrough sessions like we did today, learning from that. And I think they set a good tone for the younger players. So I think that'll be helpful.
Let's go to Leonardo Torres from Peru. Leonardo, you're muted. Okay, Leonardo, Coach, there you go.
Coach, Cole Anthony in college was fantastic. What role would he play in this season as a rookie on the team?
Well, we're starting him off with, he's playing good minutes now. And I, actually foresee, down the road as he gets more comfortable and that his role couldn't, get bigger as the season goes on. He's highly competitive. He's very smart. And I think he can be a good, actually in all 3 phases of the game. He's always been a very good rebounder also, but I think he can become a good offensive and defensive player for our team.
Thanks.
Roy Perry, Orlando Sentinel.
Steve, will you go with the same starting lineup tonight and the same playing rotations as you use on Wednesday? Will anybody else be available tonight?
Very similar. No, we'll start the same way. I like the way our playing groups played. Our starters are functioning well with that group on the floor, both ends, and so we'll play, the same group. James isn't with us. He's still, it was made more sense for him to stay back in Orlando, and just, again, continue to try to rehab. So, he's not here with us, but, our plan is to play the same guys.
Yeah. Follow up, Roy?
Yeah. Thanks, George. Real quick, Steve, just, this is your first back-to-back of the season. How challenging is it to sort of manage your minutes early as your guys, guys are still trying to get in rhythm a little bit? How do you kind of manage going on back-to-back nights here?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Roy. I think we just have to play the game tonight. See how everybody feels tomorrow. I'll meet with Lindsay tomorrow and then, she'll tell me, if guys are limited or not. We have a couple guys now. Aaron Gordon still, he's close, but, he's not playing his full minutes, and he'll get a couple more tonight, but he won't play regular minutes. Chuma's under a little bit of a minute constraint also. And the other guys, we'll watch carefully.
Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post.
Thanks, Coach. You know the Wizards well, but obviously things are different now with Russell Westbrook. He's been one of the best rebounding guards in the NBA his entire career. How big of a game plan is it for you guys? How important for your team to find a body, put a body on Westbrook and find him and try to prevent him on the boards from making a difference and creating, transition opportunities?
No question. I mean, I think for all those guys, I mean, he was last year, like 27 a night, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, I believe. And, I think for all the guys like him, the elite players, it always starts with how many of those, we call them garbage points, how many they get in transition, how many cutting baskets, how many times they get to the free throw line, and then how many second chance points they get. So he does all of that. And, on the nights when he scores in those ways, those are his big nights. So I think for both he and Brad Beal, taking those kind of baskets away are critical.
Back to Dan Savage.
If it's obviously an extremely small sample size, but at first glance at the film, how did Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook seem to mesh on the court? And because it seems like their skills do complement each other, very well.
Oh, no question. I think Russell fits in well with the way they play. I mean, they were 5th in pace last year. Obviously he's a tremendous open court player. They were 5th in points off turnovers. Obviously, again, he's a very active defender who can create havoc at that end of the floor and then make you pay in the open court. And he's always been played for the team. So I think they fit well together, and I don't think they have to make a lot of adjustments into what they do. They're running a lot of the same things they did last year. And then I think the other advantage they have is, Scott Brooks coached Russell in OKC. So I think a lot of things that they've kind of added to what they're doing, are things that Russell's had success in, and Scott knows how to use them.
Back to Leonardo Torres.
Coach, having a multifunctional leader like Aaron Gordon invites you to think in multiple variables. What phase are you asking Aaron for this season?
I mean, to play his game, to be a two-way player at both ends of the floor. I thought he was terrific the other night at both ends. I mean, he had 25. He shot the ball very efficiently, but he played a terrific defensive game. And, we need that from him all year. So I think that, one of the things that when you start to talk about your expectations of each player is, you want to have a plan where they can be highly successful. And I think he can have a great year concentrating on that, playing both well at both ends of the floor.
Any other questions for Coach Clifford? Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Oh, shoot. I'm on the call.